All right, guys, here we are. We've got some big news today. Actually, about an hour ago, Bethesda just released a Shattered Space deep dive for the new Starfield expansion, as you can see, coming out here in just about 2 weeks. So, there's been a lot of things happening in Starfield since I made the last video. Lots of mods have been coming out. I've been playing a good amount. There's all kinds of great mods going on. Everything from like visual changes to gameplay changes to items, NPCs. There's even a few quests and everything in between. Just so many ways that you can really take the game to that next level. And it's given a good bit of life back into the game. I think I mentioned that in my initial review. Absolutely love the game. I probably played about 240 hours of the game before I finally beat everything and started to get a little bit bored from it. So it took about 4 months for me to put in almost 250 hours and discover everything and accomplish almost every single quest in the game. I probably got like 98% done. Then I got a little bored from it. Set it aside. Then in May, they came out with some big updates. And then in June, we got another big update. They added mods. They added some new quests like the Vulture, which came out with mixed reviews. And since then, the mods have just been going crazy. We also recently got, as you can see right there, the Rev Z8 or whatever it's called. The little like Land Rover. So we got a Land Rover. We got updated maps. Again, like there's, texture changes, visual changes, gameplay changes. People are creating their own skill tree perks, and it's a lot of fun. What's been happening in Starfield, I'll have to, one of these days, put together a list of my recommended ones. But anyways, what we're here to talk about is we're here to react to the Shattered Space stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up their video. They just released about a 9.5 minute video, and we're just going to watch it and kind of react. So, with that being said, let's pop in here. Let's max out the screen, and let's have fun. And I'll just, pause and make commentary. And again, Shattered Space. This is coming out here in about 2 weeks, the end of September 30th. And if you already bought the special extended big edition or whatever, like I did when the game first came out, then you already get this. So I've basically already purchased this. So I'm excited to play it. And if you haven't, I think they said it's going to be about $30 for the expansion. So let's go ahead with it.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. It's been an incredible journey since Starfield launched last year. I want to thank all of you for making it the biggest launch in Bethesda Game Studios history. Your continued support and feedback drive us to making Starfield the best experience possible. Since launch, we've added new features.
So right there, they're showing the bounty hunter system. Here you can see the upgraded maps that they added. Really like these city maps, especially with the fast travel to all the different stores and shops.
Technical enhancements, fresh content,
improved
and the newly released
frame
Rev 8,
rates,
Starfield's first ever land
vehicle.
Now,
there's also a bunch of vehicle mods where people have swapped out for different vehicles. Like people are making I saw like a Crimson Fleet like van. I've seen people put out there like lowriders. Somebody did the Star Wars whatever you call it, like hover vehicle from the original Star Wars that Luke was driving. So there's been a whole bunch of them.
Now we're expanding Starfield's galaxy with a brand new, completely handcrafted world and deep new storyline. This September, we're launching Starfield's first major expansion, Shattered Space. Today, we're giving you the first...
And I will say, first off, big thing that he already announced right there is that this is a handcrafted world. So this, I think, is probably the best expansions that Bethesda does is when they have an entirely new area that they add into the area. So, showing my age and my Bethesda fandom, going way back to Morrowind, they had Solstheim, which was an entirely new island with all these new quests and all kinds of stuff. And then they had Tribunal, where you would actually go to the main city there in Morrowind. And again, huge, just like entirely add on additional area. And then, Fallout 4, they had, what was it called? I forget it was, but Fallout 4. Oh yeah, Far Harbor. I actually haven't played that one yet. I do have Fallout 4, and I unlocked the Far Harbor, but I haven't played that yet. And then Skyrim. They had the Dawn Guard was kind of like that, but I would say that the Dragonborn one was the big one where they added the entire, again, island of Solstheim. So the fact that this is an entirely new area, it sounds to me, and we should get more details, like this is a star system in the star map that we haven't been able to discover yet. And now we're going to be able to find this new star system. And this is a custom made star system that has a whole bunch of like deep stuff just inside the star system. So for those of you that have complained that things are too like spread out and there's only like 4 or 5 interesting locations, this here is another concentrated, handcrafted location, it sounds like, where the entire expansion is going to fit in there. So a lot of you should like that, because this is them going kind of back to their roots of where they're best at their expansions.
Look at the mysterious homeworld of House Faroon. So let's dive in and explore.
I also just love the visuals. The visuals for this look awesome. The like creepy stuff.
The fate of our house.
And I think I've gone on record many times saying that one of my favorite things in Starfield is the spooky, creepy space shit. So like whenever you would go across like all those mysterious areas where it was like everything was dead and it was just creepy space, derelict ships, that kind of stuff, those are my favorite things. So already love the dark creepiness.
Was written among the stars. The great serpent tells us there is nothing to fear.
Do not for.
At least, not for those who walk the path. You will rise as Varun.
Let's go.
We love Starfield's massive open galaxy, but from early on in our planning, we knew we wanted to introduce a more secluded and handcrafted location, similar to what you've seen from our past expansions. There's so much mystery to House Faroon, and because they've so thoroughly isolated themselves, it made them the perfect faction to explore in a completely self-contained experience.
And so you arise, one of the promised of House Varun.
From the minute you arrive on Varun Kai, the story never sends you off planet. You're free to leave at any time, but the story is fully centered around life on the Varun homeworld.
So again, right there, like they're saying, this is one planet that they've put a ton of detail into. And I really think that this is when Bethesda's at their best, is when they go really in depth into handcrafted environmental storytelling. Is the way I like to put it, is handcrafted environmental storytelling. That's when Bethesda is at their best. And I think that's what Starfield had a lot that it was lacking. It was lacking a lot of that handcrafted stuff, because it felt like so much of it was procedurally generated. So the handcrafted stuff is Bethesda at their best, and it sounds like this is a single planet is where the vast majority of this expansion is going on.
Everything you discover, every location you visit, every side mission you seek out, it all tells the story of what happened here and how the Varun
So
people
cool
have survived.
looking. I love the
cut off from
visual
the comforts of the
aesthetics.
settled systems and the rest of humanity.
Vindicator. Harbinger. Harbinger. Reverend.
Promised. One of our main themes throughout the base game is humanity's search for knowledge. Shattered Space is still about that search, but it's also about what happens when it goes too far. It's a very extreme pursuit, and it has backfired horribly for the people of House Va'Run.
My brother Qasim has been missing for days. I'm beginning to worry that something terrible has happened to him.
Yeah, this right here, I love these vibes. Just this like thriller, horror, space, suspense. Like, what happened here? What's around the corner? Getting nervous. It's dark. There's blood everywhere. It's a mystery. Absolutely love this. This is my favorite part, or one of my favorite things about space games is when you get this just like super creepy, like horror space stuff. It's awesome. Just blood everywhere. What the hell was
Before the
that?
start of Shattered Space, a secret
Let me go back
experiment.
real quick.
Before the
So, like, what was that guy? I don't know. But apparently there's going to be a lot of new enemies and stuff. That guy, it's weird.
Before the start of Shattered Space, a secret experiment involving grav drive technology
Almost looked like a
went terribly
cyborg
wrong.
or something.
It resulted in a massive tear in the fabric of space-time that swallowed a significant portion of the Va'Run capital of Dazra. You arrived just a few weeks after the Vortex incident. It's still very fresh in everyone's minds. There's a massive crater in their city. Nothing has been reconstructed. People are still searching for missing loved ones.
Supplies are limited. There is so much work to be done.
The scaled citadel.
So it sounds like basically, obviously, we just heard it, but something crazy just happened. We don't know how we're introduced to the storyline. I think I've heard something about, you know, us being invited or Andreja having some type of like communication where, you know, she connects us to them, and then we go there, and then apparently we are needed because this crazy thing happened again within the last couple weeks. They're trying to put the pieces back together. So there's going to be a whole lot. I'm hoping there's not a whole lot of like, hey, go find this person. Hey, fix that thing. But there's going to be a lot of options as far as, you know, when you're dealing with a recovery effort. I think that gives you a lot of opportunities for different types of missions. So this could be a good thing. Hopefully they get creative with the amount of missions and the types of missions. And it's not just, you know, hey, find my kid, find my husband, you know, go fix this thing, fix that thing. We need you to get X supplies for like the water valves or whatever. Hopefully it's something a lot more interesting than, you know, your basic kind of like fix it fetch quests. But we will see. We will see. They could get very creative here.
The seat of power for the Va'Run government, is now trapped within a strange field of energy. Among those missing is Anasco Va'Run, leader of the Va'Run people and speaker for the Great Serpent. In his absence, the minor houses that make up House Va'Run are all vying for control over the faction's future.
So we got some politics going on.
The Zealots were once a part of Va'Run society. They want to continue the Serpent's crusade. They'll demand an inordinate amount of credits or firearms. Worst case, a seat at the High Council or even the reinstatement of their house.
So this is interesting. We actually just found out there that, and I don't remember if this was already kind of mentioned, but it sounds like the Zealots have essentially been exiled from House Va'Run. So, you know, they've basically been kicked out because they're too crazy, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah. combat going on here.
All must serve. All must serve.
I also will say I think that the combat AI has improved a bit through Starfield with their updates. At least it feels that way. I don't feel like I'm having as many stupid AIs.
Varun Kai and Dazra City are like no other location in the base game.
Very unique aesthetic.
From its inception, House Varun has been driven by a singular, unique vision. Because of this, Varun Kai has a completely distinct visual identity. We say it's very alien. You'll see this in the extraterrestrial landscape, gravity anomalies, and much more.
Be a lot of funky gravity boosting.
Varun Kai is located in the Kavnik system, and it's not the friendliest environment. They believed the Great Serpent led them to Varun Kai, and their whole purpose in being here is to await its return.
You have no concept of what the Great Serpent demands of us. All must serve.
It's a dangerous planet, and a lot of the people have retreated to Dazra in order to survive and protect their culture and their way of life.
That's a cool creature.
Now you'll find areas of the planet that were abandoned and have since been taken over by Zealots, Spacers, and Crimson Fleet. And humans aren't the only dangers in the Badlands of the planet. With the line between reality and the vortex breaking down, creatures from the other side can slip
those
through,
spectral
like the
spiders.
vortex horror.
Fuck those.
When you disturb the barrier between our world and theirs, they can sense it, creating these honestly terrifying ambush scenarios.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love it. I love it. Again, like the suspense, the thriller, like all that kind of stuff. That is. I'm not necessarily big on jump scares, but again, when you can get like these ambushes going and it's like dark, you're wandering around, you don't know what's going on, you're trying to figure it out, it's creepy as heck, you got the ambiance with like the mood music going, and then all of a sudden some like spider like teleports like out of nowhere to attack you. I love that. That's great vibes. Love that.
In the base game, there's a lot of focus around ranged gun combat. You can engage in a firefight from way in the distance. In Shattered Space, we're closing that distance. Space is scary. Part of getting that across is amping up the aggression and the chaos of combat.
There we go. I love it. That's a new gun. That looks cool. Very cool. Yeah.
As you explore the city of Dazra and the surrounding planet, you'll learn the truth of what happened, become entangled in the political feud between the minor houses, and ultimately decide the fate of House Varun. A fate that could affect the rest of the settled systems.
We can restore the intended order of things.
Thank you for joining us for a closer look at Shattered Space. We worked hard to make this a journey you won't forget. We're incredibly grateful for your support and passion. Stay tuned for more updates as we head toward launch on September 30th.
All right. All right. Love it. So yeah, again, as you can see, if you had the premium edition, you already got it. Otherwise, I think that it is going to be about $30 as everything that came with the premium edition. And yeah, again, overall, This looks good. This looks a lot like Bethesda at their best. And ultimately, like, we will see. We will see how good it is. I think that, again, initially, I loved the game when it came out. After I completed everything, it felt like it was lacking a little bit of the kind of replay value, just because it didn't feel like there was a lot of intended consequences, and things weren't quite as spontaneous and environmental as and like handcrafted environmental storytelling, which is what I think Bethesda's best at. And it felt like there was a lot of the procedural generated stuff, so I think the replay value definitely fell off. But I think with the improvements that they've made, with the multiple upgrades, the patches, updates, adding mods, I think it's taken the game, it's made the game a lot better on all levels. Again, from everything from performance to gameplay to content. And I think this is going to even add even more. And it's crazy to think that Starfield's been out for a year now. I have literally been playing this game for a year. I'll have to check and see how many hours I put into this game, but I would guess I've probably put on, at this point, I would guess probably 350 to 400 hours into the game, which is pretty incredible. And we'll see how good the expansion is. It's out in about 2 weeks, but either way, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, obviously like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate all my followers. I know there's not a lot of them, or I guess subscribers, as you call it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And as always, Space Cadet Brian, signing off.